What was it like to start to be on the show and then get recognized? Did it feel good? Was it, too much for you? What was it like to get recognized with your children?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I always used to wonder when I was a kid what it would be like to be famous. And I always had this little piece of me that really wanted to be famous, but there was nothing that I could really be famous for, you know? Like
Yeah.
I was always a good writer, and I thought maybe one day I would write a book that would make me famous, but this was like easy fame. It's like overnight fame. So I was like, yeah, why not? I loved being recognized. I didn't like the negative social media. It took me a little while to learn how to ignore that and to get
Mhm.
used to it. But I mean, it was exciting getting recognized. My kids liked it, and then they got over it. They don't even care anymore. But,
Mhm.
it's nice to, the free stuff, not like the free, like I don't care about like a package coming to my door, but like when their favorite sports team offers to let them meet some players before a game, like that kind of stuff I love. Like I like to
Yeah.
do it for my kids.
Yeah. Okay. So, and when you were kind of going through your darker times, did it affect your children?
Yeah. So when all the cheating rumors about my husband were out, um, we would fight because he wanted me to do something about it and I couldn't do anything about it. I always knew my husband didn't cheat on me. I didn't even worry about it for a second. I knew it was a storyline on a show. Um, but he wanted, like, I couldn't do anything about it. It was out of my hands. And that's the dangerous thing about a reality show. Any reality show is once you say something, like it's out there and there's a portion of the people who are going to believe it no matter what.
Right.
So I couldn't do anything about it. And I had a lot of guilt about that. And he was very upset about that. And we really don't fight. We have a really nice, cordial relationship. And we were fighting. And my kids saw it and they were very, very upset. And my daughter would cry and they were afraid we were going to get divorced. And that was never happening. But, they were scared. They were upset. And he was upset and I was upset. It was
I
not
can
good.
understand that. Yeah. I mean, that would be terrible. Speaking of your husband, one of the things that is different about the Jersey Housewives is that the husbands play such a big part on the show. What did your husband think of his role, about the other guys?
So the first season, he was like, involve me as little as humanly possible because I think he was concerned. He had no idea what this was. He knew that Jersey was really like a volatile franchise. And he was afraid with his job in finance that it would make him look bad. But it didn't. So his second season, he really was able to relax a little. He was really involved for like 2 or 3 seasons. He was really, really involved and he got very, very close with the guys. The guys all love each other, but he's been happy to step back a little since I've become a friend. That's been great for my whole family because, my kids are teenagers right now.
Mhm.
They're young teens, 13 and 15. And they're going through changes. They like their privacy now. He is happy. He loves the guys and he's always happy to see them off camera, but on camera, there's always a fight, so
Right.
he'd rather not.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So how has the show changed from your first year to now, do you think?
Um, I don't know that it has that much, except, I mean, this season is different because there's certain cast members who just won't speak to each other at all. So
Mm.
my first few seasons, everybody was able to argue and then make up. And that's
Mhm.
not really the case anymore.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It seems like a lot of the storyline for many years has been the arguing between Teresa and Melissa. And I think that fans have sort of said that they don't want to watch that anymore. Do we feel like there's going to be a new storyline or is that still going on? I know you can't
Yeah,
talk
no, no,
much about
no.
what you're
There's
filming.
not. Yeah, I can't talk much about this season, but it's not a season full of Teresa and Melissa arguing. Absolutely not.
So, what is the upcoming vibe of the season? Can you talk about that?
I would say definitely shifting alliances, a lot of new friendships, which is nice. Um, but new drama.
Okay.
It's not Melissa Teresa anymore.
Right. Okay. And talk to me about, you mentioned a few minutes ago about being a friend. How does that happen? Does a cast member get demoted? Is it something that you prefer to be a friend? Is it a pay difference? Like, explain it all.
Yeah. So it's called getting demoted, but I mean, that's, that whoever chooses, I mean, that's whatever. It's called getting demoted. So the difference between a friend and full-time, there's a few key differences. A friend doesn't have a tagline, doesn't matter. They're not in the cast picture, but you do get a cast photo. You're just not in like the main picture. Fine.
Okay.
And you don't have a personal storyline. So as a friend, you're involved in all the group events and you're involved in like occasional, like one-on-one scenes to move story forward, but you don't have your own personal storyline. So they don't go into your home and you don't meet your family and all of that. Last season, so there's different reasons why someone might get demoted. So like my reason last year, I was not in a good place with like my eating disorder. I wasn't in a good place with my recovery. I was very shaky still. And I think we all recognized that the drama would not be good for me and that I wasn't ready. So I was made a friend, and that was very hard for me because even though the decision was on everybody's part, it was hard to take a job that you've been so involved in for so many years and to watch everyone else still doing it without you, and people on social media were so cruel. Like every time I posted something, people would be like, shut up, you're demoted, which to me was like a big kick in the ass, so I hated it.